Every week, American Top 40's heard coast to coast and around the world on great radio stations like the new Hot 104.3 KHTR, Pullman, Moscow, Washington, 103.7 Q104, today's best music all day long, Gadsden, Anniston, Birmingham, Alabama, K100, KOLV, your country and classic radio station, Olivia, Minnesota, and KKXX, the 50-minute hit music station, Delano, Bakersfield, California. Now, we're up to the first hit for Destiny's Child. They're a teenaged vocal group who grew up in Texas dreaming of trips to Disney World. But until a few weeks ago, they never dreamed they'd ever actually sing there. The members of Destiny's Child have been together since they were kids, and they say nothing seemed more magical than Disney World nights when they watched big stars perform at the park. They say they never imagined that they'd actually play there themselves. But on June the 10th, they finally got the chance. You see, Destiny's Child was one of the acts invited to open a new concert venue at Disney World, Black Entertainment Television Soundstage Club on Disney World's Pleasure Island. And there they were, these four starstruck teenagers from Texas, performing on the same bill as R&B stars like Gerald Levert, Keith Sweat, Johnny Gill, the Four Tops, and more. This week, the four girls who call themselves Destiny's Child are at number 32, performing alongside another R&B star, Wycliffe Jean of the Fugees. Here they are singing No, No, No.
Hits from coast to coast.
American Top 40 is heard in the 50 states and around the world every week on great radio stations like today's hits, WXXL 106.7 Orlando, Florida, Y101, Jackson's hit music, Jackson, Mississippi, yours for Western Alaska, award-winning KNOM, Nome, Alaska, and 95.3, 15 years of today's best music, Magic 95, Lawton, Oklahoma. Now we're up to the first hit for an all-girl teenage group that first formed 8 years ago, and to prepare for stardom, they went to the musical equivalent of boot camp. The four-voice vocal group called Destiny's Child first came together back in 1990, though it took several years until the current four members were in place. But from the beginning, their manager Matthew Knowles knew they needed more to become stars than just pretty smiles and good voices. He's the father of lead singer Beyoncé Knowles, and to get the members of Destiny's Child ready for stardom, he put them through a virtual musical boot camp. Even though they were still in their pre-teens, their manager got them up at 6 every morning for a 3-mile jog. He knew they needed to build their stamina and their respiratory strength. Then it was off to vocal lessons before they went to school. After school, there were more vocal lessons and then rehearsals. And then after they did their homework, it was early to bed. They had to get up early the next morning to do it all over again. Latavia Robertson says he wanted us to know what it was like to have a schedule, so that when it got hectic, it would feel natural to us. He also made the girls watch tapes of legends like The Emotions, Stevie Wonder, and the Jackson 5, so they'd know how stars should look. And though it took 8 years, their destiny has been fulfilled. And this week, the group called Destiny's Child moves up 2 notches to number 32 in our survey. Here's No, No, No.
For Casey Kasem, I'm Ed McMahon. Tumbling a couple of notches to number 34 is Destiny's Child, 3 very determined women. Group member Beyoncé says, quote, "Some people in Houston used to say we were crazy trying to get a record deal because no one's ever really done it from there before. But we are proof that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve." Unquote. Achieving that goal, here's Destiny's Child with their gold single, Bills, Bills, Bills.
Hits from coast to coast.
Easing down a notch to number 20 is Destiny's Child, a group with a big, big goal. Beyoncé Knowles says, quote, "When we're 50 years old, I want us to be legends. I want to be like the Supremes," unquote. On their way to that goal, here's Destiny's Child with their recent top 10, Say My Name.
The hits from coast to coast.
And that means that we're up to the brand new number 1 song in the USA. It's by a vocal group who got their big break on Star Search, a show that introduced us to Aaliyah, Christina Aguilera, and Britney Spears. It was back in 1992 that this group from Houston, Texas, landed a chance to appear on Ed McMahon's highly rated Star Search TV show, a show that's been responsible for introducing a surprising number of memorable names to pop culture. Along with Aaliyah, Christina Aguilera, and Britney Spears, there's Usher and Tiffany. Comedians like Sinbad, Rosie O'Donnell, and Dennis Miller were first seen on Star Search as well. And so was the vocal group at number 1 this week on American Top 40. They first appeared on the show 8 years ago in the newly created hip-hop category. They won the category, and they kept on winning for weeks until they had landed a manager and a record deal. And this week, they score another major coup as they rise all the way to the top of the chart, scoring the biggest hit in the land. The brand new number 1 song in the USA on American Top 40 is Jumpin' Jumpin' by Destiny's Child.
Ladies, leave your man at home. American Top 40.
And that means we're up to a vocal group that's gone through major turmoil this past year, but they survived and even prospered, and they have the number 1 song to prove it. In fact, the name of the next album from this trio, due out in April, is Survivor. And that's because they've managed to survive a bad time, a period during which 2 of the 4 members were let go and then replaced with 2 new members. As you can imagine, this didn't leave the 2 members who were asked to leave very happy. They sued, and they were countersued in turn. Things turned pretty nasty. Group member Kelly Rowland says rather than shutting down, all that chaos gave group leader Beyoncé Knowles, quote, a lot of inspiration to write songs for the album. Like, for instance, the title song of their upcoming album, Survivor, which has a chorus that keeps chanting, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it. A point that's also made in the group's current hit. A song about female empowerment. A song that, once again, is the biggest hit in the land. The number 1 song in the USA on American Top 40 for the 8th week in a row is Independent Women by Destiny's Child.
Counting down the hits with Casey Kasem.
Well, now we're up to our 3rd debut, a brand new hit by Destiny's Child, who say that exercise and diet are important. But there's one thing that's even more vital to looking and feeling good. The 3 members of Destiny's Child say they put in their time on the treadmill and lifting weights. But in terms of exercise, quote, our show is like one big workout. We stay in shape by performing so much. Singer Beyoncé Knowles adds that she doesn't worry about her diet much either. Quote, the exercise I do is so I can eat anything I want, whenever I want. But there's one thing that Beyoncé and her partners worry about all the time, and that's having a good attitude. They say that it's attitude, far and away, that makes them succeed. Kelly Rowland says, when I'm feeling good and wearing a smile on my face, I always look better. Being positive is the key to everything we do. And this week, that positive attitude helps them on the 3rd of this week's 4 debuts. Here's Destiny's Child debuting at 37 with Emotion.
Hits after hits. Connection secure. Uploading now. AT40.
Seacrest with you, the top 5 coming at you. And not too long ago, I had the chance to sit down with Destiny's Child. Very cool girls. One of the things we talked about was the key to their success. Here's Beyoncé.
Actually, the key to this group is friendship. And we always said as long as we maintained our friendship, we would do more music together. And it is a lot harder now that we're older. We live in 3 different cities. But right now, our focus is Destiny's Child. And we're so excited because it's the best album we've done. We had time to be apart and grow as women. And now we found our own voice and our own personality, and it's just different layers to the group. It's definitely better than anything we've done.
Destiny's Child moving up 3 spots to number 3. This is Soldier.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, number 1.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to American Top 20. I'm Casey Kasem, and I'm all set to count down the 20 hottest hits in the USA. We've got one debut this week, the first hit on our chart for British sensation Lily Allen. But before we get started, let's recap last week's top 3. At number 3, My Life Would Suck Without You by Kelly Clarkson. At number 2, Sober by Pink. And at number 1 for a 5th week, You Found Me by The Fray. Will The Fray stay at the top for a 6th week? Only one way to find out. Let the countdown begin.
Number 20.
Down 3 notches is Beyoncé with a hit from her album, I Am Sasha Fierce. And who is Sasha Fierce? Beyoncé says, she's someone that takes over when I perform. She's who I really am. Here's Beyoncé, or is it Sasha, with Single Ladies, Put a Ring on It.